Well, good evening and welcome, everyone. I want to welcome you and call to order this meeting of the Floresville ISD Board of Trustees for the date of April 6, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. Let the record show that there is a quorum of the board members present, myself, Stephen Shadrach, Dr. Lyanna Martinez, Mr. Craig Mutz, Mr. Marshall Fleer, Mr. Jason Sabota, Dr. Joel Odom, and Mr. Terrell Shellhouse. Furthermore, let the record show that this meeting has been duly posted in accordance with the Texas Opens Meetings Act. This is an open meeting, and we welcome members of the public to observe. Please note that the public comment should be reserved for the public comment portion of the agenda. We kindly ask that no comments or questions be made outside of that time. Should you have comments or questions, we welcome you to contact the administration directly, and thank you for your cooperation. Dr. Martinez will now lead us from prayer, followed by Mr. Sabota with the pledges.
Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight with grateful hearts, thankful for the opportunity to serve our students, staff, and community. Guide our hearts and minds as we make decisions that impact the education and well-being of our children. May we lead with wisdom, integrity, and compassion, always keeping the best interest of our students at the center of our work. We lift up our teachers, administrators, and support staff who dedicate themselves each day to nurturing and inspiring young minds. Grant them strength, patience, and encouragement as they shape the future. We also pray for our students that they may grow in knowledge, kindness, and confidence, supported by a community that believes in their potential. As we begin this meeting, may our words and actions be guided by respect, humility, and a shared commitment to the success and well-being of our schools. Bless our work tonight and help us serve with wisdom and unity. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Dr. Odom will now recite our FISD vision and the mission statement, please.
Our FISD vision and mission statement. The FISD vision statement is character, knowledge, competence. Our mission statement is FISD is committed to the development of innovative, lifelong learners who possess character traits to achieve personal and professional success.
Thank you. Mr. Fleer will now recite our FISD goals, please.
The FISD goals are excellent student outcomes, superior workplace environment, exceptional customer service and community engagement, strategic resource management.
We will now do a round robin of the board recitation of the FISD core beliefs. Our FISD core beliefs are, in FISD, we believe all students feel safe and supported in a developmentally and academically challenging environment.
Families are welcome partners in their children's education.
Faculty and staff are compassionate, dedicated, adaptable individuals who are student-centered.
Campus leadership is fair, equitable, and clearly communicates and engages with stakeholders.
Superintendent and central administration lead with integrity, transparency, and clear communication to provide a well-resourced educational environment.
Trustees provide student-centered and fiscally responsible leadership and transparent and ethical support of all stakeholders.
Mr. Butts will now recite our overview of good governance and code of ethics, please.
Each month we highlight one of our good governance indicators and code of ethics that the FISD Board of Trustees follows to prompt the best interest of the district as a whole. This month for the code of ethics we are highlighting integrity of character. I refuse to surrender judgment to any individual or group at the expense of the district as a whole. I will consistently uphold all applicable laws, rules, policies, and governance procedures. I will not disclose information that is confidential by law or that will needlessly harm the district if disclosed. Our good governance indicator for this month is the Board of Superintendent team regularly checks expectations and assesses board superintendent manager operations.
Thank you all for that. We will now recognize our future chef competition winners. Ms. Moffitt, please come forward. Mr. Moffitt, excuse me.
Ms. Moffitt.
Mr. Moffitt. Sorry, sir.
That's all right.
You want to go ahead and get those people up?
Yes, can I get my future chef students up here?
Future chef students, come on.
Come on. I am hungry. Bring those cookies up here. Oh, they weren't cookies. Oh, okay, just checking.
All right, so if y'all don't know me, I'm Matt Moffitt.
If you'll just scoot back a little bit and face this direction.
Line them all up facing us.
There you go.
Thank you.
Right there, perfect.
All right. I was the manager in the cafeteria over at the North Campus. I'm over at the high school now, an alternative. From day one, though, it's been hands-on with the kids. I love working with these kids. It's one of my favorite days of the year. It's this Future Chef program. I think we've been doing it. I think this is the 17th year now. I've been here since 2024, and 3 years, and it's like I said, it's my favorite day of the year. I get to see a lot of kids that I work with, and get to see them outside the cafeteria, where they call me their favorite lunch lady. But no, the program it's really is special. It teaches them more than just cooking. You know, it teaches them how to present themselves, you know, to a board of judges, and you know, cooking. I'm a little nervous. It's nice to see. I love cooking, obviously. I love to eat, and it's nice to see that my passion is going into the younger crowd. Let's see. I think this year we had 9 participants. They put in an application. I think 6 got accepted. One of them could not make it, so we had 5 entrants. 5, not 4. The 4th and 5th place, everybody did an exceptional job. Nobody went home hungry. Everything was good. I took home leftovers. It was great. Let's see. Madeline Larson, she made a creamy chicken. She was one of our runners-up. And Miss Beach, Athena Beach, she made a Mexican green chili enchiladas. They were delicious. Those are the ones I took home. 3rd place, we had Jadith. She made a pearl sauce with shrimp Alfredo. Also delicious. I wanted to take some at home, but somebody stole it before I got to it. 2nd place, we had Sky Lopez. I'm gonna butcher this. Sopa de fideo with beef. Honestly, hands down, best one I've ever eaten in my life. I've had a lot. And then, of course, our 1st place winner, Miss Ruby Segovia. I'm gonna butcher this name too, but it's Fiesta Arroz con Pollo Bowl. But it was very colorful. That was my favorite part of the dish. She had all the colors of the rainbow in there. But they all did great. I loved all your food. I would look forward to, well, if y'all are in 5th grade, not. But if y'all are not in 5th grade, I look forward to seeing y'all again next year. Everybody, give it one.
You know, it takes leadership and confidence to step up and take a risk and share your talents with other people. It makes us vulnerable and opens us up to feedback. Congratulations on your outstanding work. We really appreciate you coming forward and sharing your talents with us. It sounds really great. I'm sorry that I missed trying that. But congratulations, we're very proud of you.
Yeah,
I missed this year as well. Didn't get to judge it this year, but I heard phenomenal things about all the entries. I did have a little sample of our winner, and it was phenomenal. She made another batch for some of us at central office.
Oh.
It was very colorful, very tasty. I forgot to tell you all that. I just know that for a lot of you, it's the first time to cook in a commercial kitchen. So each of you was assigned a cook from our cafeteria staff, and they worked side by side with that cook to prepare their dish in our kitchen. It's not like they make it at home and bring it. They have to prepare it on site and then present it to the judges. And a lot of those You talk about the history of wanting to learn how to cook because you cooked with family members, grandparents, parents, and a lot of those meals mean something special to you. So thank you all very much for representing us, and good luck to you. From my understanding, they can move forward in the process with Sodexo and on to a regional or even national level. So we'll see what happens. But congratulations. Come on up here, you too. We're going to take a picture real quick. Y'all can line up right there. Hold up.
Hold up here, make sure it's the right way. Ready? Let me take one more. 1, 2, 3. Right, thanks.
Parents, y'all can come up and take a picture too. Hold on one second. There we go.
Trying to get out of here.
1, 2.
Gotta keep smiling. All right, congratulations. If you don't mind shaking the board member's hands. Congratulations. Good again. Awesome. Let's try some next time.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Congratulations.
That's what I said. I'm coming to Red House.
Congratulations so much. Good job.
Oh, nervous.
Congratulations.
It's my first
sir.
one, too.
Great,
Thank you, sir.
great.
Yes, sir.
Great job. Thank you.
I fumbled there for a minute. Y'all have a good day.
Now we will have recognition of the teacher and the students of the month by Mr. Barrett. I'll pass it over to you, sir. Timing's great.
Good evening, Dr. Gilstrap, President Shadrock School Board. Tonight, Floresville High School has the pleasure of introducing our Students of the Month as well as our Teacher of the Month. One of the things that I try to mention every time I'm up here is this is very much an award for the student, but also for the parents. The kids that we have in our school, I brought somebody in our building from a San Antonio school today, and walking through the hallways made the comment of, y'all just have such great kids here. Just every kid they saw in the hallway, how polite they were, how kind they were, how respectful they are. So to win Student of the Month in such a highly competitive school really speaks volume to these kids, not only about their performance academically, but just the type of people that they are. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our first Student of the Month. Natalie Valdez is the daughter of Cindy and Stephen Valdez. I'm proud to recognize Natalie primarily for her involvement in and outside of the school. She's involved with the Sacred Heart Catholic Church. She's involved in agriculture with our LDE teams, milk judging specifically. She's our number 3 for her class, graduating class, so excellent GPA. But the main thing with Natalie is just how kind and compassionate she is. Her friends talk about how she's always willing to help them out. She's a leader, a mature role model. I get to see that firsthand with her being one of our counselor's aides in our building. And so ultimately, Natalie is involved in a lot of things with NHS, being a part of the Honor Society, being in ag. Her work ethic and leadership and passion with hands-on learning is always contributing to our school environment as well as out in the community. Parents, y'all did a great job with Natalie. Very much appreciate that we get to partner in Natalie's education as our first Student of the Month. Our second Student of the Month, Nolan Garcia. One of the things that I can say about Nolan is his work ethic. I've seen it both on the football field and the classroom. I've seen him be a leader in the hallways. I've seen how he talks to his peers, how he talks to adults. Very respectful young man. I hope everyone's had a chance to engage and interact with him. I could say that him and I, we talked a little bit during the football season, and one of the things that he came to me about, which really spoke volumes to me about his leadership, was doing a last walk with his senior class across the football field. I don't know if y'all were able to attend that last game and witness that firsthand. But Nolan really kind of helped rally the kids up and get them to participate in that. And that leadership to me really spoke volumes about your character, who you are, and willing to come talk and try to get something in place that hopefully would be a long-standing tradition. Nolan, again, when he graduates, he wants to go and be in kinesiology. That's the same with Miss Valdez here as well. Wants to go and study kinesiology and wants to continue to pursue his passion, helping other athletes in some way, shape, or form in the medical field. Nolan as well, part of NHS. Again, his discipline, work ethic, those are the things that shine with Nolan that I know will lead to a successful future for him. Ms. Estrada, excellent job raising this young man. Miss Farrell will be our Teacher of the Month, and I joked with her a little bit about how we tend to go off script out in the hallway. One of the things that I'm proud to say is we stole Miss Farrell from North Elementary, so very excited to get her to come over to the high school for us. Since she has been at the high school, she has hit the ground running. She shifted into teaching one of our English 1 classes, which is a STAR EOC class, and freshmen are difficult to deal with. Miss Farrell has really done a great job building relationships with those kids. You walk into those classrooms and it's evident. I talked to her husband a little bit and just thanked him as well. Miss Farrell is one of those teachers who puts in additional hours outside of the school day. She's there sometimes 6 o'clock, 6:30 at night, and she's got kids of her own as well who are participating in extracurricular activities. That's one thing that Miss Farrell really demonstrated to her colleagues, and that's the first thing they mentioned was her work ethic and her willing to come in and help and assist with them, which I hope y'all see as a common trend. These kids and these teachers up here have excellent work ethic and they show it daily. I see her leaving typically around 6:30, 7 o'clock. This is not a 9-to-5 job when you're doing it right, and Miss Farrell definitely puts in her time. Beyond the classroom, she's always there with a positive attitude, always willing to jump in wherever she's needed. Colleagues appreciate your openness, work ethic, and just your work ethic and your steady focus on doing what's best for kids. Transitioning can be tough, moving from the elementary up to the high school, but I want you to know we've all seen you just flourish in this role. We're very appreciative to have you on campus. Thank you, Ms. Farrell.
Natalie, we're so proud of you as a board. Your kindness and compassion, I caught that. And you know, those two characteristics in your life will carry you a long ways in anything that you want to do. So I want to congratulate you as Student of the Month and know that your future is bright because of just who you are as a person, both in the community and in the school and wherever you go. So may God bless you.
Thank you.
Nolan, man, I tell you, we've spent a lot of time in the locker room. I know that Nolan works hard because I made the mistake one time of going to the locker room to lift weights with the boys. And it didn't work out so well for me. But for him, I'm telling you, his work ethic, you're right, Mr. Barrett, is just outstanding. You worked hard on everything you did. And then, not just that, but making the grades as well. And I want to congratulate you, and I'm so proud of you and your accomplishments. And you're just great. And I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you. God bless you. Miss Farrell, from the littles to the freshmen. I don't know how I can connect those two, but I will tell you what a wonderful job you've done to transfer over now to the high school. And I didn't know that y'all could steal teachers. I wasn't aware of that. That's pretty cool. So anyway, but Miss Farrell, thank you so much, and thank you for all that you do. Your work ethic, again, the harder you work, the better you are at what you do. And we congratulate you as a board. May God bless you.
Thank you.
Before we move further, we have something from the Lions Club for each of you.
Yeah, we would like to just congratulate you for all your hard work in and out of the classroom. And these are just a little gift.
Thank you.
Yeah. And very good. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Reed. Thanks to the Lions Club for supporting our Students of the Month. We're going to go ahead and take a picture if you want to come on up.
It's right there in the middle. Where everybody on. Don't be shy. All right. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Parents.
Hold on one second. Let Ms. Reed jump up here real quick. Ms. Reed, you want to jump in and take a picture for?
I can't jump at
Oh,
all.
okay. All right. Sorry about that.
I don't run either.
Let Ms. Ballson take that and then we'll get the parents.
1, 2. Got it.
All right, thank you, Ms. Reed.
All right. Now, parents.
Go ahead, Ms. Reed. Parents, you want to come up? Come on up. Take a picture. Did you feel like shaking their hand? Nolan?
We did still love you.
Oh, I love
Get to see him again, hopefully.
I know, not too long from now, thank you.
Good watching.
All right. So now we will recognize the boys and the girls powerlifting, I presume, Coach Martinez?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's all yours for us.
I appreciate the opportunity to recognize our student athletes today. Today we have our boys and girls state powerlifting team here. These individuals qualified for state, and I'm really proud of them. We're going to start with our boys. We also have Kendra here, who's academic all-state as well. So really honored to be able to recognize their achievements this year. And I'll start with Coach Ramos and allow him to introduce the boys.
Good evening. All right. Thank you for having us here to recognize the hard work and accomplishments of these young men and ladies. And to start by recapping our boys season this year, we were able to host 4 home meets and allowed us to have a full set of all our lifters getting to compete all those meets. We also had 4 home meets for the girls, and so the same thing for them, which gave us a lot of opportunity to keep those kids in a steady, consistent training method and mode, and a program that allowed them to continue to progress through the workouts and through their PRs and continue to go up and up and up in weight throughout the season. So thank you, Coach Martinez, for providing all the resources and materials and things that we needed to get that done this season. So first off for the boys, we have sophomore Ethan Williams, who came in 6th at regionals and came in 6th at regionals and then 11th at state. And then Carlos Reyes Jr. qualified for regionals and finished 6th, but he actually tied for 5th, so he only missed out on that medal just by body weight. So there's just a little bit there, and he was right there. Then finished 18th at the state. Senior Matthew Cottrell finished 4th at regionals and then 18th at state. Senior Josh Martinez finished 9th at regionals and 12th at state. And then Omar Torres, senior, and he was our regional champion, and then finished 11th at state. So,
But you gotta shuffle down with the girls before. Slide down that way, Omar, let the girls come on.
Good evening again. Thank y'all for having us. Couldn't say enough about these girls. This was my first year coaching girls powerlifting. It was a blast. It was a roller coaster. It was everything in between. And truly enjoyed my time with them. So I'm proud to present my girls today. We had 26 girls on our roster. Like Coach Ramos said previously, we had hosted our 4 meets, so we were able to have all 26 of our girls lift every week. Got them in a smooth routine. Out of the 26, we qualified 18 for regionals. And then we had 4 go to state, so I present 4 of them today, along with Kendra. This is Jocelyn Avila. She's a sophomore. She's a 1-time state qualifier, 1-time regional qualifier. Showed up to regionals, pulled a deadlift that we were not expecting her to pull. She went out and got it, hit the state total when she qualified for state, so couldn't say enough about Jocelyn. I have Peyton Austin. She's our junior. She's a 2-time regional qualifier, 1-time state qualifier. Have Cambry Angle, she's a 3-time regional qualifier, 1-time state qualifier. And then we have Gabby Onesto, 4-time regional qualifier, 3-time regional medalist, 3-time state qualifier, 3-time state medalist. And then I have Kendra Ramirez here. She received elite academic all-state, along with Cambry Angle. She also got elite academic all-state. And then I'm missing one of my seniors, Mariana Pinto. She was also first-team academic all-state. Couldn't say enough about these girls. They represented Floresville the right way in our program. The right way, came in and day out. Truly got to the grind and truly trusted our process, and I couldn't say more about them.
I'd like to recognize our coaching staff as well. We lost our powerlifting coach in July. Couldn't find a replacement. I asked Coach Valadez to step in. He's also our head boys track coach, and so he pulled double duty all year long. And in the midst, he found time to have a wedding, get married, and go on a honeymoon. And so couldn't be more appreciative of what Coach Valadez does. Gianna Molina, she's also our trainer. We didn't have a female assistant at the time. I recruited her. She did it for free last year. We were able to get her a stipend this year, but she did it with no hesitation to help our program. And I can't say Coach Ramos helping. We hosted 8 powerlifting meets this year. Because our team is so big, we held meets so every kid had an opportunity to compete, because that wasn't that way before we were able to do that. So hosting our own meets allowed us to do that, and put a lot on them, and they did a really good job of representing our program. And I want to make sure those coaches get the recognition they deserve as well, because they worked extremely hard this year.
Good job, Martinez. I appreciate you mentioning that comment, because they did it all, but it actually took all the coaches and support staff. So for all y'all, it's a very unique sport. I mean, it's a physical sport. It's physical, but the physical is you. You got to compete, and so you push yourself all week. You push yourself in the weight room, but ultimately, when you sit down, you lay down to lift that weight. It's mentally. You got to prepare yourself mentally. So I congratulate you all for doing that. You represented yourself. You represented the school, and we thank you for that. So that mental toughness will take you in a lot of different places, and we're proud of y'all. Congratulations. Thank you.
Let the boys go in the back, the girls go in the front. Oh, no, she get the edge, big dog.
Here, you switch me. I'm like, get closer to that.
That works. Can you get us all in?
I think so.
All right.
You good?
Let me take one more just in case. 1, 2, 3.
All right, everybody hold your spot.
1, 2, 3.
Parents, come on up, take a picture. Shake the boy's hand right behind you there. Go down the road.
Always up.
One more. Last, we will recognize girls basketball by Coach Martinez.
I have Coach Leonard come up with our senior, Alyssa. Good start of the show, good. I'm honored to introduce Alyssa. One of the things I'll say, obviously her academic achievement today, recognized for All-State. But what I'm most proud of is watching Alyssa's leadership this year. Our girls basketball program went through a lot of ups and downs with injuries, and she was just the constant for the team. And I couldn't be more proud to watch her, how she represented our program and our community and put the team on her back and really did a great job this year. I'll turn it over to Coach Leonard to speak on her behalf, because I know he's got a lot to say.
Hopefully I won't be here too long. Every year, it's an honor to come up here and recognize these young athletes. We're really blessed and fortunate when we have the opportunity to stay at a school long enough to see kids from freshman through senior, see them grow up. And this was my 4th year here, my 4th year watching Alyssa. And it's such an honor to have been able to be here when she walked in, and now watching her go out, getting ready to go to Texas Tech, major in occupational therapy. And all of that is basically because she took care of her business in the classroom. And that's the main thing we're recognizing, but I can't just leave it at that. When Alyssa was a freshman, she had short curly hair, okay? And throughout every year, you know, when we talk, you know, we're talking to the other coaches, and they're like, hey, do y'all have that kid with the curly hair? And yeah, she's back. Hey, you have that kid with the curly? Yeah, she's back. Well, this year, you know, I had to say this is her last year. And you know, her freshman year, she played volleyball, basketball, ran track. Sophomore year, played basketball, ran track, pulled a hammy, and we've been working on that since. But to show her character, you wouldn't know it. You know, her work ethic, her desire to compete, just it was amazing to watch, because I had to hear it, not in a negative way, but hey, go talk to the trainer. You know, her hamstring, and you know, she I don't think I can go. Yeah, you can go, and then she'd go, and then you know, she hit the 2 free throws in the regional or in the by-district game to send us on to the next round. Hit 2 free throws to win, to go to the next round. And that just shows a lot about her drive and relentlessness. Mr. and Mrs. Eladio, thank you. It's no wonder she is how she is. I remember when I moved here, moved in our house, and I needed help with my Rottweiler's cage. And it was about 10 o'clock at night, and I asked Mr. Eladio, who lives right around the corner from me, and he came over, no hesitation, and helped me do that. And then Ms. Eladio has been over backwards since I've been in special education. Anything I've needed, she's been over backwards to help. And that has just rubbed off on Alyssa. She's always the first one wanting to help somebody. She really, you know, Coach talked about her leadership. She would take anybody that would come in the gym, and she would try to show, try to mentor. And I thought she did, and she would hold people accountable. Now, you all know kids don't like kids holding each other accountable, but that's what real leaders do. And she was a real leader. It didn't matter who liked it, who didn't like it. She knew what needed to be done, and she made sure it got done. And that's something that I think is definitely going to carry her forever. You know, not being afraid to do what's right when it needs to be done and hold people accountable. So Alyssa, I'm very proud of you for that. So this is Alyssa Eladio. Couldn't be more proud. Congratulations,
But what's that number under her picture? 1,000 points?
Oh, yes, sir. And she was a 1,000-point scorer. I got a story to tell you about that too. So the day that she got, of course, I'm never going to tell a kid they're close to 1,000. Okay. So she starts pressing. She starts pressing, forcing shots. I gotta get. And I'm like, look, okay, we know you're about 2 points away. Just calm down. It'll come to you. Sure enough, she gets to the free throw line, knocks 2 down, gets to 1,000. And then from then on, I think from that day on, she started having career highs in points through the rest of the season. Wow. So that was awesome.
One thing, Mr. Snow.
Well, Alyssa, on behalf of the board, just listening to Coach Leonard, I mean, just makes us so proud that we have students as yourself. Not only on the court, what you can accomplish, but what you are as a person and the backing you have from your family. I love that we have such strong family in Floresville ISD to produce such a great student. And that it shows that you got academic all-state. Great on the court, great leadership, but then your academics is high. Going to Tech, that's awesome. We wish you all the best because you deserve it. So very proud of you.
Coach ain't gonna give you the certificate. He was gonna
One more. Got it. 1, 2, 3.
right, Mom, going up. Hope George watch you.
Hate to lose you.
Oh, sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy watching.
Thank you guys, appreciate you guys, thank you for letting us do that. Thank you all for recognizing them. It's a great story, sir. Thank you, appreciate you. Appreciate you, thank you all. Thank you.
She was refereeing every Saturday too in the youth battle. Yeah, she refereed every weekend for the little ones.
It's amazing well they have
I'm getting crying this time.
No, I did it for you.
All right, Ms. Petrie, I have your public comment, is that correct? Let me read an overview on the public comment. The board encourages comments about the district from the members of the public. Anyone who has signed up to speak in advance of the meeting in accordance with the board procedures may do so. The board asks that each participant comments pertain to district business and be no longer than 2 minutes. Remember that the board may not discuss or act upon any issues that are not posted on our agenda. In addition, the board has adopted policies to provide prompt and equitable resolution of complaints and concerns for employees, students, or their parents, and the general public. Copies of our district policies and procedures on public comments and filing complaints are available at www.fisd.us. At this time, I've got Mr. Andrew Kiona. You'll have 2 minutes to speak, sir. Appreciate that. Ms. Petrie.
Hope you bear with me in my first language. It's not English, so if you can follow along, that'd be great. Good evening. My name is Andrew Gianna, and I'm the parent of a senior, Adela. I'm here because the district's explanation of the recent manual GPA recalculations at the high school remains incomplete, inconsistent, and undocumented. And these decisions directly affect scholarships, honors, and college admissions. The principal recently emailed me stating that Skyward was double counting certain CTE courses, counting a 2-credit course as 4 credits. That describes a symptom, not the cause of the error. There is still no explanation as to how the error exactly originated, how long it existed, or how many students were actually affected by it, or whether it was a Skyward bug or a district configuration issue. The explanation also contains a mathematical contradiction. I was told that overcounting points hurts many students. Not across the board. Yet, correcting the overcounting raised GPAs for students taking weighted classes. Those 2 statements cannot both be true unless the district is using a non-standard GPA formula, and if so, that formula has not been provided. There is also no timeline. The district has not stated when the error was discovered, when manual recalculations were performed, whether recalculations were done more than once, or whether any GPAs changed after the initial recalculation. Without a timeline, there is no way to verify consistency or fairness. Most concerning, the district has provided no documentation at all, documentation being the key word. I have received no Skyward error report, no Skyward ticket, no description of the audit, no Excel formula, no spreadsheet, no verification records, and no confirmation that the same method was applied to each and every student. Yet the principal stated that he recalculated GPAs through Excel with no mention of oversight, verification. A single individual manually recalculating GPAs for an entire senior class without documentation is not a transparent or reliable process. So tonight I am asking the board directly, what was the exact cause of the Skyward error? Not the symptom, but the cause. When exactly were manual recalculations performed, and were they performed more than once? What formula was used in the Excel recalculations, and does it match district policy?
Sir, you're almost a half a minute over time, so if you could wrap it up, please, sir.
Yep, absolutely. Who verified the principal's manual calculations? Will the district provide the Skyward ticket, the error report, the recalculation spreadsheet? Will the district commit tonight to providing all documentation by a specific date? I want to be clear. I am not here to accuse anyone of wrongdoing. I am here because the district made significant changes to student GPAs and class rankings without providing documentation necessary to confirm accuracy or fairness. Transparency is not optional. I am formally requesting that all documentation related to the Skyward error and the manual calculations be provided within 10 business days. I've submitted a Texas Public Information Act request so that all the documentation surrounding this issue can be reviewed transparently and in writing. Thank you.
Thank you for the comment. Sorry to make you to speed up. You did a good job though toward the end, but thank you for bringing that to our attention. And thanks for coming tonight. We will now have the superintendent report by Dr. Gilstrap.
Yes, board members, including your packet of superintendent report. This week we have started our STAR EOC testing. It'll run from this week through early May. So we want to encourage our students to take this opportunity to show everyone everything that they've learned throughout the year. We want to ask our families, our parents, and to make sure their students are well rested and prepared whenever they get ready to take those tests. So make sure the kids are ready to go, and the teachers and staff have worked a long time, many hours this year, so it's going to be an opportunity for students to show off everything that they've learned. The Finance Committee of board members will meet on Thursday to review and receive updates on the current budget, as well as continue working on next year's budget. Current enrollment trends will be considered during the calculation and implementation of next year's budget, which has seen a decline, so we will be budgeting on some new numbers. I want to take an opportunity to thank Ms. Angle as well as Ms. Stonish in the business office and HR office for the time that they put in to gather all the information, all the details as we build that budget out for next year. We must have that approved by the end of June, so we'll be doing that over the summer. I've approved the superintendent evaluation, or provided the superintendent evaluation at each of your spots. There's an envelope that it contains some relative information as well as the instrument tool itself. Mr. Shadrach can collect those, as well as Ms. Petrie, if you want to return it to either one of them in the sealed envelope by Monday, April the 20th, so that we can take care of the observation or the evaluation in the regular May meeting. That'll give Mr. Shadrach some time to tabulate those and get everything ready to go for May's board meeting. Also provided at your spot are the upcoming campus events. Also provide that each week in the weekly update for April and May. There's too many of those events to name because I will forget something somewhere along the way, but it is a chance for our students to show off their performances, and the recognition banquets coming up this time of year. It's an opportunity to celebrate our students, our families, our community, ultimately with the culminating event of obviously graduation. And graduation is that big event of the year, the biggest day of the year in my opinion. The board's encouraged to attend as many of these events as you can. There are events listed in blue. Those do require an RSVP, or you're cordially invited to those things. So if you're going to attend those, please let myself or Ms. Petrie know so we can get your name added to that list. Ms. Petrie has also provided the individual continuing education hours update in your packet. The information also includes any outstanding required hours. Speaking of required hours, the TASB SLI will be June the 12th and the 11th and 12th in San Antonio. This is a great opportunity for board members to receive those continuing education hours if they need them. It's also an opportunity to network with school board members from across the state. It's always a good time whenever we go as a group, and it's able to get your required hours as well as networking with others from around the state. So if you're able to attend, please let Ms. Petrie know so that she can get everybody signed up whenever that registration opens. Per policy DC local, beginning April 1st through August 31st, the board delegates to the superintendent the authority to employ contract personnel. An employment update has been included in the superintendent report to keep the board informed. This month's update includes recommendations from principals for returning teacher contracts. In the coming days, probably early next week, these individuals will begin receiving their contracts for the next school year. Again, no board action is required for this, since the superintendent can provide these contracts, but please let me know if there are any concerns. Listed below are the enrollment counts in attendance through last Thursday, April the 30th. You can see our enrollment was at 3880. We've gone up just a little bit. And our attendance, as expected, once we start the 4-day weeks, we see our attendance start to tick up. So that is starting to trend upward as well. Hopefully that continues for the remainder of the year. Again, board members, there are a lot of events taking place, so please reference the event sheet that's been provided and let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Gilstrap.
Next on the agenda is item number 5, action items, the consent agenda by Dr. Gilstrap.
Yes, board members, let me get over there to it. Consent agenda contains the typical items as well as board minutes from the previous 2 meetings, actually, from February as well as March. Our financial reports are also provided. The renewal for the membership with Walsh Gallegos is our retainer as an attorney. So every district in the state of Texas is required by law to have an attorney on retainer. We choose Walsh Gallegos, and so it is a recommendation to continue using them as a retainer. Also, we have the approval of an out-of-state trip. This is the Taffy group that we recognized last week. They'll be competing at Nationals, which is in Oregon this year, in Portland. So they'll be going to Portland over the summer for competition at the national level. If there's not any questions, the administration recommends the board approve the consent agenda as presented.
I move to accept the administration's recommendations.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mr. Mutes and a second by Mr. Flitter. Any further discussion on the motion? Those in favor, show your hands. In favor? 7-0.
Thank you, board members.
Thank you all. Next on the agenda, we'll now consider approval of the 2026-2027 FISD school calendar. Ms. Brooks.
Good evening, President Shadrach, Dr. Gilstrap, and Board of Trustees. Included in the board packet are the proposed 2026-2027 district school calendars. As part of our annual calendar planning process, the district reviewed draft options for the 26-27 school year. In February, the school board adopted the following parameters to guide this work: 165 instructional days, 470-minute instructional days, and a school year ending on or before May 27th. Our original timeline anticipated bringing a final calendar recommendation to the board for consideration in March. However, as draft calendars were shared and feedback was gathered, a new calendar option received increased support in discussions. A calendar with mostly 5-day weeks in the fall and mostly 4-day weeks in the spring. Because of the interest around this option, we gathered additional input before making a final recommendation. All district employees and parents had the opportunity to indicate their preferred calendar through an online survey. Calendar 1 was similar to this year. Calendar 2 reflected 5-day weeks in the first semester and 4-day weeks in the second semester. The results of over 1,000 participants are shown below. Calendar option 1, which was the one similar to this school year, received 41% of the vote, or indicated preference for 41%. Option 2, which was the one that had mostly 5 days in the fall and 4 days in the spring, received 56% of the overall vote, and 3% indicated no preference whatsoever. So the majority of the survey respondents indicated their preference in calendar option 2, which has mostly 5-day weeks in the fall and 4-day weeks in the spring. Both of those calendars are also in your board packet if you'd like to review them, but also, do you have any questions?
Been a long process. Thank you very much.
It has been a very long process, yes. Hearing no questions, administration recommends the board approve the FISD 2026-2027 school calendar as recommended by the staff and parents and presented by administration.
Mr. President, I'd like to make the motion to accept the administration's recommendation for the 26-27 calendar.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
So I have a motion by Dr. Odom and a second by Mr. Flitter. Any further discussions on the motion made? Show of hands in favor. 7-0.
6, abstain.
I'm sorry.
Abstention.
Abstain. Okay.
Call that again, or?
I'm sorry, I'll restate that. We had 6 in favor and 1 abstain.
Yes.
Did not see that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. All right. Now we will consider approval of the instructional materials allotment and the TEACS certification by Ms. Brooks.
Yes, thank you. The instructional materials allotment and TEAC certification form is required annually by the Texas Education Agency. The school board must certify that all instructional materials submitted by the district textbook coordinator have been reviewed and approved for use. Additionally, the board affirms that the instructional materials allotment funds will only be used for expenses permitted by law. The board also certifies that the district instructional materials fully cover all required elements of the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills for each subject and grade level. The certification form is included in the board packet. Do you have any questions? Hearing no questions, administration recommends the board approve the instructional materials allotment and TEAC certification as presented and required by the Texas Education Agency.
I move to accept this administration recommendation.
Got a motion by Mr. Sabota and a second by Dr. Martinez. Any further discussion on the motion made? Those in favor of show of hands? Counted 7 that time. Thank you. Now we'll consider approval of the 2026-2027 instructional materials adoption for the secondary math.
Yes, another long process. Thank you.
Ms. Brooks again.
The Texas Education Agency has established a new system for approving instructional materials called the Instructional Materials Review and Approval Process, or IMRA. The process replaces the previous system, which was most recently used during Proclamation 2025. IMRA is now the annual process for evaluating and approving instructional materials used in Texas schools. Established by House Bill 1605 in 2023, it ensures that educational resources are high quality, grade level appropriate, and fully aligned with the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills. The process is designed to enhance the quality of education by providing schools with the best possible instructional materials. The Floresville ISD Instructional Material Review and Adoption Committee reviewed several publishers for adoption for secondary math. After the review, they selected McGraw-Hill. The publisher recommended for adoption by administration and the committee members who recommended it are included in the board packet. Do you have any questions?
Who all was on that committee?
The list is in the board packet. So secondary math teachers and members of administration we attended a review day at Region 20 and saw a variety of publishers. Teachers then selected their top 2 or 3, and we invited those publishers to come and present to the entire math departments. And after all of those presentations, the choice was very clearly McGraw-Hill, which will take us 6 through 12 math curriculum, and everyone will be aligned on the same curriculum for the first time in a while.
Good. Because I know the math is always one of those areas we're normally trying to improve those scores year
Yes.
after year.
So we are very excited to get this adopted and get it in place in the fall.
Good.
Administration recommends the board approve the secondary math instructional materials for 2026-27 as presented.
I move to accept administration's recommendation.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Newt and a second by Mr. Sabota. Any further discussions on the motion that's made? Show of hands in favor. 7 again. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Now we'll consider the approval of the resolution of Senate Bill 546 regarding the 3-point seat belts on buses by Mr. Schroller.
Sir. Good evening, Board President, Board of Trustees, and Superintendent of Schools. Senate Bill 546 updated the Texas Transportation Code to require that all school buses transporting students be equipped with 3-point lap shoulder seat belts for each seating position, including the driver of that bus, by September 1st of 2029. unless the district adopts a resolution of financial inability as permitted by statute. The legislature also established detailed reporting requirements to the Texas Education Agency to monitor statewide compliance and assess the financial impact of the mandate. By the end of the 25-26 school year, districts are required to submit a comprehensive report identifying the number of buses equipped with 3-point seatbelts, the number with 2-point seatbelts, the number of buses without seatbelts, and the estimated cost associated with retrofitting a bus and all buses a district owns. In 2017, legislation updated school bus safety requirements to mandate 3-point lap and shoulder seatbelts, the same type found in your personal vehicles, for all buses year 2018 and newer. Our district, FISD, has remained fully compliant since this law went into effect. Since 2018, the district has purchased 7 buses equipped with 3-point seatbelts. 2 buses were purchased in 2018, 2 in 2023, 2 in 2024, and 1 special education bus this past year in 2025. These 7 buses are used daily to transport our students. Senate Bill 546 came into effect September 1st of 2025, which removed the qualification model year 2018 and newer, and now applies the standard to all buses operated by a school district. By the way, FISD owns 49 buses. This slide just gives us an overview of our current school bus fleet as it relates to compliance in regards to Senate Bill 546. At this time, 14% of our buses are already equipped with 3-point seatbelts and will not require any retrofitting. An additional 12% have 2-point seatbelts, and those 6 buses will need to be replaced or retrofitted to meet the new mandate. The majority of our fleet, 74%, currently have no seatbelts at all. That equates to 36 buses that will need to be replaced or retrofitted. Overall, 86% of our buses, our 42 buses total, will require replacement or retrofitting to comply with Senate Bill 546. As noted earlier in the presentation, I'm just providing an additional overview so you can see it visually of the reporting requirements that all school districts in the state of Texas must submit to the Texas Education Agency. That's the number of buses with 3-point, 2-point, without seatbelts, estimated cost per quote to retrofit a bus. I jumped on this early. What you see here, school districts are required to obtain and submit a single cost estimate for retrofitting district school buses and submit that to the Texas Education Agency. I did this past August, and it was determined retrofitting a school bus was estimated at just over $33,000. If you look alone, labor, $15,000. Current estimates are now, I called Longhorn Bus Sales, a reputable national company. In these 8 months since August, they went up over $2,000 already to retrofit a single bus. I was also informed it takes 48 to 60 hours to do a single bus. It's a long process. So with that said, the total cost from Longhorn Bus Sales to retrofit 42 of our school buses came out to approximately $1.4 million. This slide just shows the variety of buses FISD owned that would need to be retrofitted. Of the 42 buses that will require replacement or retrofitted, 31 of these buses are used daily to transport students to and from school. On average, FISD operates about 37 buses each day, as some of these buses support field trips and extracurricular activities, while those other buses are transporting students to and from school. The remaining buses in our fleet serve as spares. Sometimes, remember, we do occasionally have them break down. We do PM on it. That stands for preventative maintenance. And it's also important to note that on Fridays, particularly during away football games, and sometimes during spring semester, we're running full capacity. All of our buses are on our roads. Retrofitting a school bus, like I said, is a complex, time-consuming, and labor-intensive process. Do you do it on site or do you push your buses out? You push them out, they work, like I said, 4 to 5 days. That's one less bus we have transporting students. On a side note, the major bus manufacturers have indicated they will not recertify older buses that are retrofitted with seat belts. In other words, once they modify a bus, the manufacturer will not guarantee that it still meets federal crash and safety standards. It's also important to note that the majority of buses identified for retrofit and FISD are between 9 and 16 years old and already have pretty good high mileage. And costs can be higher if they find the floors needing to be replaced, because they're going to take out every seat. And so if you have any type of floor rot, that's additional price. So grant funding, I put should be available to school districts after the reporting period closes. That's the end of May, so it's coming quick. However, as to date, no timeline or funding amount has been determined. The district will submit the required board agenda from tonight, along with the minutes from tonight's meeting, along with the resolution I shared with you in board book, I believe, for your viewing, and the resolution you'll see in the upcoming slide to the Texas Education through a dashboard platform called Sentinel. Administration will continue monitoring TEA guidance for looking for more direction and potential grant opportunities. So this is kind of what I'm going to be talking about, those numbers down there. This is an excerpt from the proposed resolution that I also just told you I shared with you in board book. Affirms that the district has determined its current budget does not allow for full compliance with Senate Bill 546 by September 1st, 2029. It also directs the superintendent of schools to develop a bus replacement and or a retrofit plan and to provide annual progress updates as part of the annual budget planning process. Again, I would like to reiterate that the state has indicated that grant funding should be available to help support compliance, but as of now, no specific funding amounts or timelines have been provided to date. Lastly, I've talked to several school districts, large and small, and many of them have already adopted the same or very similar resolution and or are planning to do so at their upcoming board meeting. With that said, Board of Trustees, are there any questions?
You said we have 76% of our buses do not qualify.
Yes.
So I would imagine we would be just like you, 86%.
86%,
So
yes, sir.
then we were beaten, just like other school districts, will probably be in that same predicament.
Absolutely.
Probably half are better than their buses.
Correct.
So the state's going to have to find ways to help school districts fund this.
That's our hope, yes, sir.
They are collecting that information
Okay.
through this requirement of notification TEA. What they do with that number, obviously, I would hope that the next legislative session, they collect that information, incorporate it into their funding somehow, but,
But you also said the manufacturer said if we retrofit a bus, they won't guarantee or certify it.
That's
either.
correct.
So then consequently, they're saying we got to buy new buses indirectly.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's going to be some more information coming out, and I don't see all states meeting this, or all school districts meeting this by 2029.
Yeah, so what's the punishment if we don't meet it, because we're not gonna do this, even though I want everybody to have a belt, but if we don't have it, we can replace the bus that is 2030, 2031, and we replace it, why retrofit one that we're gonna be replacing?
Absolutely.
If, what's the leniency?
And that's the same question I asked at a webinar our Director of Transportation and I attended, and they could not answer that question. They have not been given that information
Give us a
yet.
deadline, but no money and no leniency, nothing.
Yes, sir.
And put it all on us. 1.4
Unfunded
million.
mandates, that's a specialty of government.
Because it is, I mean, right now the school district is struggling every year to have a balanced budget, and we pull it off, but I mean, at certain points, we have to cross the bus out to pay salaries, to
That's
pay
correct.
increases, help cover insurance, stuff
sir.
like that, so the state's
stretching.
really backing us in a tough corner.
Yes, sir. And like I said, we'll be on top of it for any updates coming from TEA. That reporting date, I believe, is May 30th. That's when it closes. And so I expect June, July, prior to the start of the upcoming school year, there'll be some more information to Dr. Gilstrap and or myself that we'll share with y'all.
So yeah, even the new buses coming out, where are they running now that are equipped with the?
I got 2 of them today. A 54 passenger special education bus was 153 and some change, and a 77 passenger bus. That's what most of our buses are. It was quoted to me today at 161,000.
So that's over $7 million.
Right.
That is correct.
We had to buy all new buses.
And if we ordered them today,
The turnaround time,
turnaround time to get that many buses. And of course, we're just one school district across the state of Texas.
we're little fish in a big pond.
So I don't know what the grant options will be. Will it be a competitive grant process to where we're having to really write those grants and be competitive with everybody else in the state? Or is it going to be more of an allocation grant process where each school district, based on ADA, gets a certain number of allocation of funds? It all remains to be seen.
More to come.
Yeah, if we can take the buses and get the oldest ones, give us a few years, get rid of those and just start,
Yeah.
but don't make us do it in 3 years, do it in 7 years, and we'll just replace the buses
Yeah,
if we can.
We'll plan strategically once we know what's going to be allocated or if we get any grant monies. Yes, sir, Mr. Simoda.
State. Does everybody, all public schools, but private schools have to do this too?
I believe they do. Is that correct, Raymond? Yes, they do too. Good question.
Any charter schools, any private amenities, public amenities, it transports a student in the state of Texas.
So with that, it's public and private? Okay, well, let's cross the board.
Yep. And that includes, I don't know if you saw it real closely, but our CTE van,
I saw that.
that has to be equipped too. Yes, sir. We checked, and that was a question I specifically asked to Region 20, who put on a presentation on this, and so forth. Any further questions, board? If there are no further questions, administration recommends that the Board of Trustees approve the resolution as presented.
I move to accept the administration's recommendation.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Shellhouse and a second by Mr. Svoboda. Any further discussion on the motion that's been made?
I just want to be clear on what the resolution is, what specifically it is that we're approving. So,
It's basically saying, in a nutshell, right now, the district cannot meet compliance in September 1st of 2029, meaning we got to
We're just saying
have.
that we're not going to have the funds to
Correct,
comply with
correct.
this. Okay.
And like I said, the majority of school districts are doing the exact same thing right now because we're waiting to see what is the state going to help school districts out with.
And it also directs the superintendent to develop a plan during the upcoming budget cycle. So while we may say we don't have, we do not have the funds available, we've got to come up with a plan.
But yeah, what we're saying is we don't have the, I mean, we may be able to buy buses between now and 29, but we don't have the means to buy 42 new buses.
Correct.
Okay. That's what.
And we're not going to go forward with any refitting of any.
Not at this point, no ma'am.
Okay.
No ma'am.
So I'll repeat what's on the floor. So we've had a motion by Mr. Shellhouse, a motion by Mr. Shellhouse and a second by Mr. Svoboda. Any further discussion on the motion that's been made? Show of hands in favor of the motion that's been presented. We have 7-0.
Thank you, board.
Thank you all. This is a tough one.
It is business.
Yes, sir, it is. Last, we will consider the approval of the purchase exceeding $50,000 for the student refresh.
Save the best for last, huh?
Technology. Buses to technology, sir.
You all want money. Good evening, Mr. Shadrach, Dr. DeGostrap, and board members. Floresville ISD follows a comprehensive long-term technology replacement plan to ensure that students have consistent access to reliable instructional devices. Currently, students in 1st through 12th grade are issued Chromebooks, while our pre-K and kindergarten students use iPads. Each of these devices has an expected lifespan of up to 8 years. Each devices for pre-K and 5th grade students right now, they're currently being stored in classroom carts, which we made that change last year. And middle school and high school students continue to take theirs home daily. As with all types of technology, these devices experience a gradual decline in their performance, increased hardware failures, which we're seeing a lot right now, and the eventual loss of manufacturer support over a long time. To effectively manage this, the district replaces approximately 1/8 of the Chromebook fleet each year. This strategic approach minimizes long one-term expenditures and maintains a dependable access to the technology for our students. This year's purchase includes approximately 500 Chromebooks, along with the required management licenses that come with each one. Following a review of the 3 vendor proposals, each of which should be included in your board packet, CDWG was identified as the most cost-effective option. The total investment is $130,000, and it will be supported through a combination of funds, including the technology and instructional materials allotment, some title funds, and local funds. Board action is required for this purchase as it exceeds the $50,000 limit established by policy CH local. Are there any questions?
Is this the same manufacturer we used last year?
It was the same manufacturer that we originally chose last year, yes, sir.
I know one of the things that's concerning is even though a device may continue to work well, the companies quit carrying software updates to it.
Yes.
Talk a little about cybersecurity, how that goes back.
Yeah, so Google will kind of guarantee on the Chromebooks, an 8-year lifespan. That's as long as that they'll continue providing support to that. After that support no longer is being put on those devices, any security failures or anything that gets discovered by a bad actor, usually the whoever the manufacturer is putting out updates that will kind of close off any backdoors, anything that gets discovered. When they're no longer supported, those updates no longer happen, so they become a security risk. It gives a backdoor of entry into our network.
So even if the device is still operating fine,
yeah,
it's exposing us.
Yes. Even if it still is working, working fine. It happens a lot on cell phones as well. It might look like it's working fine, but once it stops getting security updates, it becomes a security concern. Are there any further questions? Any other discussion? All right, if there are no more questions, administration recommends the board approve the student device purchase as presented.
I'll move to set the administration's recommendation.
A second.
I have a motion by Mr. Muse and a second by Dr. DeMartinez. Any further discussion on the motion that's been made? Show of hands in favor. 7-0.
Thank you, board.
Yeah, cybersecurity is not to be taken lightly. So there's a local school district not too far from here that shut them down for a week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Scary thing.
Quite a bit of money. The board will now convene into executive session pursuant to the Texas Governmental Code 551.074 personnel. No voting will take place in this closed session. Any action the board wishes to take as a result of discussion in the closed session will take place after the board reconvenes in open session. This time, I was wondering about that. We will also convene pursuant to 551.072, deliberation regarding real property. We will go into executive session at 7:42. The board will now reconvene back in open session at 8:49. At this time, there's nothing to approve from the closed session.
No, sir.
So we have now concluded our agenda for this evening. Is there any further business? I hear none. So the meeting is adjourned at 8:49.